I'm going to show you the picture, what picture I'm planning to do. So this is the picture that we are doing today. So let me first ask all of you, we can do this picture with two type of colors. Either we can do it with oil pastels or we can do it with watercolors. So do you all have any one of these?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, let me ask it the other way around. Is there anyone who doesn't have any one of these? Okay, so I don't see hear anything. That means everyone has either watercolors or oil pastels. If you are using watercolors, I suggest do not use your printer sheet. For watercolors, you must use watercolor sheets only. If you're using your printer sheet or any other sketchbook paper or any other normal paper, watercolors might not give you the good results on that.
Mataji, I'll be doing it on I have lined paper. I don't have any other paper right now, but it's like good quality lined paper. I'll just draw on it. Is that fine? Just for
Drawing is fine, but watercolors will not, might not work on that.
It's okay. Just for drawing.
Can you tell me what the paper is again? What kind of paper?
So for watercolor, the paper should say watercolor paper. Okay, you should be able to read on the sketchbook that it is watercolor paper.
Packs of that.
What is that again? Sorry, Moksha.
I have so many packs of it.
Oh, wow, that's great. All right. So, or if you're using oil pastels, then you can use any type of sheets. Okay. But for watercolor, maybe you can use mixed media sheet if you have something like that. Otherwise, use your oil pastels. So let's see what supplies you have, and then we will begin according to that. Let me go back and look at the picture. And this is the picture we'll be doing today. So let's quickly start with our prayers. Vanchakalpadrubhischa kripasindhubhaya vichamattanam pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So let's begin, everyone. Let me increase the brightness of my phone so that you can see this. So we haven't done anything like this before. You see in this picture, the coloring is not that much neat. It's very loosely done, especially at the ends. It's very loose. So let's first begin with the sketching. And if we get time within this 1 hour, we will do a little bit of coloring of this time. So for this Jaganath card, let's see what all we have on the paper. If that's the paper, this is in landscape mode, like instead of vertical paper, this painting is basically this on horizontal paper, but I'm going to do it on vertical paper only. And you can do it either way, but in the picture, it's more wider, okay? So this picture has, your card is starting actually in the middle of the paper. On the bottom side of your paper, you see a lot of people there. All the devotees are there. And on first half of the paper, I think it's getting a little blurred. On first half of the paper, there are Jaganath cards. So Mudra, do you have any question? I see
Yes,
you.
Mataji.
Yes.
Can I use this paper?
If I don't read Canson, what does it say? Does it say watercolor or mixed media?
It says watercolor paper.
Yes, you can use this.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I think I did not use say your name correctly, right? It's Samruta. Okay. All right, so I'm starting now. So first what I'm doing, this painting has to be done very, very loosely. Hold your pencil here. Don't hold it right here. Don't try to make it super neat at this stage. Keep your lines very loose. That's the key of this painting, keeping your lines loose. So first I'm dividing my paper in the middle. My lines might be a little light right now, but if you're not able to see, I will try to make them dark. But in the beginning, we want to make them light. Okay. If it is too light for anyone, you're not able to see, do let me know. So this is my line, and that's kind of in the middle of my paper. I want to go a little bit down, more lower. I feel it's too much high. I'm going slightly lower. Okay, then I'm going to do my 3 cards. My first card is here on the paper. I need little bit of space for this. My another card would be somewhere here. When you're doing this circle or oval shape, it doesn't need to be a perfect shape. Just loosely, I'm giving some space that, my card should be this width. And then my third card would be somewhere here.
Mataji, can you please show us closer?
Yeah, I'll make it darker. Okay. This is the middle line. So I made 3 lines. Keep your lines very, very light. I'm just doing it darker so that you can see. So first you need to space out on your paper whether you're getting enough space to draw what you are planning to draw. So I made these 3 lines and, there's oval shapes around them because I want to make sure that I'm going to get enough space to do my cards on my paper. So I feel I do have enough space and this is what I'm planning to do. You all can start now on your paper. Once you are done, you can let me know that you are done. And you can also show me your paper whenever you're done.
Power వచ్చింది అంటున్నాను.
Hasini, you can put yourself on mute. Okay, thank you.
Mataji, I'm done.
Do you want to show me?
No, Mataji.
Okay, let me see.
Mataji, is this okay?
Let me check. Samruddha, yes, this is good. Your middle card is bigger than the other 2 cards. So middle one is the biggest and the one on the left is the smallest. So these are 3 different sizes. The largest is in the middle, then second, medium. This is the biggest. This is medium and this is small. Okay, so try to keep different sizes also. Let me see, Hasini. Hasini, the cards are attached to each other. Your spacing is good, but when we actually draw them, they need to be close to each other. There would not be any space between them. So you don't need to change anything, but just keep the point in your mind. It's good.
Yes.
Is there anyone else who wants to show me? Navya, Bhavya, Asra, Sarayu, Moksha? Is there anyone who's not done? All right, so I assume everyone is done now. Let's begin with our first card. So for my first card, let's figure out the shape. So this is more like a triangle shape here. This does look like a triangle shape. So you already have this line. You don't need to write this L and medium. This was only for your understanding. So I'm erasing it. I'm doing one of my cards, the biggest one right now. So what I'm doing, that's going to be my top for the card, or maybe a little higher. I need a little more space here. That's going to be my top in the middle of my circle. That's my line. I'm going to draw. All right. So this is my rectangle shape on right hand side. Then I am making it wider on both sides. If I do it without my rectangle, let me make it a bit darker. That's my rectangle shape on the right hand side of my circle. And then I'm taking out lines from the sides to give this shape. Okay, once this is done, I'm going to extend this and draw another line like that. After that, this is a slight tilt here, okay? After that, I will extend both these lines and connect it like this. I'll stop here, you all can start.
Mataji, I only have a few colors. Well, one of them have a lot of colors and the other has very less. What colors do we need after?
Okay, so let's first finish the sketching and then we will discuss about coloring, okay? We will see what everyone has and then we will figure out what colors we can use. So first finish the sketching. Keep your lines loose. You don't try to make it perfect. Don't try to make your lines dark and sharp.
Mataji, can you repeat this process once more?
I'm going to do it on my second card. You divide your circle in the middle, and then you do kind of a rectangle on this right hand side. Then I'm doing two side lines. Then there is a tilt on this side, another line, and then go up and extend these two outer lines to give this cone shape on the top. Is this clear now?
Yes, Mataji.
Is there anyone who wants to show me what you have done so far? Bhavya, are you also doing it? You can show me. Champaklata.
Mataji, can you see this?
Yes, Hasini, this is good. Yes, looks good.
Mataji, is this okay?
Samruddha. Okay, I'm looking at your work. This looks good. Yes. Okay, just one thing you can check on your paper, Samruddha. These two lines needs to be parallel to each other. This distance should be kind of equal. So I'm not sure if it
Okay.
was parallel on your paper or not, but they need to be parallel.
Okay.
So is there anyone who needs more time? So I assume everyone is done. Let's move ahead and I will add detailing to my first card now. So what I'm going to do after this top is done, now I will give the actual shape to this. So this is what it is. Now I'm making, instead of making them lines, I'm doing my curves on this. Now I have to do the door. For this, I want to make it symmetrical. So do this first. This is one. I do see 1, 2, and 3 lines there. See everything in terms of lines. Second, and third is like triangle. and this is the door. Okay, after doing this, I'm going up. I will stop here. You all can start.
Mataji,
Yes, Asma.
this is how mine's going. Sorry, I'm doing it on lines right now, but I'll like do it on paper later.
Yes, it looks good. Yes, good, Asra.
Do I add more curves on this because it seems a bit flat?
You can do that. It's not that curvy though in the picture also.
Oh,
It's kind of flat only. Okay, only this side is more curvy, which is the back side. These two front two sides are more straight.
okay.
Okay. And whenever you're doing something, always keep your reference with you. That will help you to see whether you're doing it right or not. Not like, do not just look at my paper, look at the reference as well. Is there anyone who needs more time?
I want some more time, Mataji.
All right.
This is Sri Lalita. Mataji, I also need few more minutes.
Sure. Take your time. I just wanted to hear something from you, whether you're doing it, not doing it. I was not sure. So please keep updating me.
Mataji, do we have to use that brush to get off all those eraser pieces?
Yeah, I usually do that. It's a good practice. Like, don't use your hands to take off the dust off from your eraser. Use a paper towel or use a big brush, like how I was using a big, but you might not have big brush. Then you can always use a paper towel and take off the dust. Otherwise, what happens? Your graphite from the pencil starts smudging on your paper when you use your hand. Those who are working on this, please show me your work so that I can suggest you any improvements if there is any.
Mataji, Mataji, can I show my
Okay,
drawing?
Garima is showing. I'm looking at your work, Garima. Then I will move on to Lalita. I will.
Okay.
Okay, Garima, those. That's very beautiful, Garima. Yes, good. Lalita.
Yeah, I'll show mine. Prahalad, can you see mine?
Okay, Lalita, I'm looking at your screen. Okay, Lalita, this part of your card is looking very small. You can make it more tall.
Okay.
Okay, apart from that, everything is good. I think there is someone else. I don't know what is the name of this student. LRDD. I don't know what is the name here.
This is Prahlad.
Yes, this.
Prahlad. Okay, hope I'm saying it correctly. Prahlad, it looks good. Yes, so far, yes, good. Okay, Hasini. Hasini, just when you're doing this top, make sure it's making a nice cone. Like there should be a center and it should be symmetrical on both sides. So yours is little off. Yours is going more on this side. Okay, so check that. Let me see who else. All right, you're done.
Mataji, can you check mine?
Yes, Anuradha. This is good. Yes. All right, so let's move on. I hope everyone is done here. I'm moving on. I will just work with my first card right now. I will add all the legs of the card here. This is for the door. There's 1, 2. Let's see in the picture. What else do we see? I do see 1, 2, 3. 3 more. But it's very blurry, this one. 1. Then there is another one on this angle that we made. 2. And there's another one, 3. So, you know, I'm not making it too dark and sharp and attaching it all the way down. I'm keeping it very faded and loose. This is how we want. I am not able to see anything on this side, so keeping it empty. This card is very simple. Let's fix the shape. And this is all what I see on this card. So keeping it, I'm just making the sides little curvier. I did not do anything else. On this card, there is more on the top. Let me stop here. You all finish the legs and the other part of the second card. Then we will move on to the dome part of this, the top part. This.
Mataji, what were we supposed to do on the sides again? Hare Krishna.
Astra Haribol. On this card, I just made these 2 lines little curvy.
Okay. Is it okay if my my cards are a little bit more wider than yours?
They need to be more taller than wider. So
Yeah,
you
they're
can
tall,
set
but
them.
they're just like a little bit wider than.
Yeah, if you think they are in proportion, then it's good. But if you think they're like, you know, looking wider and not looking right, then you can always reduce the width by decreasing the lines here, okay?
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone who needs more time?
Me, Mataji.
Okay, I will wait, Lalita. Those who are done with this much, I will tell next step on this, which is the erasing. So you need to take a nice clean eraser. This is a broken piece of my eraser, and I like this eraser. That's why I'm using this broken piece. I'm making sure that my eraser is clean. This is how I clean my eraser. Rub it against some cloth surface, hard surface. For first step, that you must make sure that your eraser is clean like this. Okay, don't use dirty eraser. Then keep it on your paper and with light pressure only, move it in circular motion. This will take away all the extra lines and will make your sketch light. This is a very cool technique. You see, I did not lose my lines, but they look lighter. With light pressure, if you put too much pressure on your hand, you might lose the sketch. So keep your pressure light on your eraser with very soft hand, just hold it lightly and then move it in circular motion. Different erasers work differently. So if your eraser is not behaving like this, you can erase in your traditional way. Lalita, I am looking at your screen now. Okay, Lalita, as I said, this part of the card is not tall enough. You need to make it much more taller. So what you can do right now, what you have is a very wide top like this. So what you should do, you can go a little bit more up, draw this line and make it taller. Did you get that, Lalita? And second one has to be much shorter than your first one. So first one needs to be much taller. Second one cannot be higher than that. There is, okay, because of the perspective that, you know, they are in line, these cards. Okay.
Mataji,
Garima, I'm looking at your screen.
is okay? I
Yes,
tried
this
to
is good.
erase.
Yes, Garima. Good, Garima.
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone who needs more time? Lalita, I am looking at your screen right now.
Mataji, I did.
Yes, this looks better. Good, Lalita. All right. So I think we are ready to move. And now I will add my third. I will speed up for my third card because we already know how to do it. I will do it now.
I need a little more time.
Who is that, Moksha? You? Okay, those who are done, some of the students need more time. Those who are done, after erasing, you can come back and just give finishing to your main lines. And you can go back and forth with your traditional way of erasing, erase the extra lines that we used for our guideline. Those who are done, you can start with your third card. It's very similar to your first and second card. So do try it yourself. Check the height, how tall it is, check the height. It's quite short. Okay, don't make it as tall as your first one. So it's smaller, even the width is smaller. So it's a little smaller than this one. This is really huge in front of this. So just a triangle and one line in the middle. So draw your third one to everyone. I'm also doing my third one on my paper now. I do have straight line, but it's a bit slanted. Sure.
Mataji, can you show the temple again? Thank you, Mataji.
No problem.
1 minute, Mom. I'm trying to draw.
Right. Garima, are you done with your third one?
I'm not done.
Okay.
Mataji, are we supposed to do the third one exactly as same as we did the other two?
You don't see as much details on the third one as you see with the first one. So these are technically just 3 lines.
Wow.
Okay. What you see on my paper. Lalita, I'm looking at your screen. Lalita, I'm not able to see your paper. Okay, that looks good. Yes, nice. Okay, your second one, this card has to be very close to your first card. Otherwise, you will have to add all the details. So it needs to be connected, kind of attached, quite close. Okay, there should not be gaps. So you move everything. Right now, you have your first cut like this and your second like that. So you move it, you move your lines. You get that? Whatever you have, you shift them and erase this one. Erase this one.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so I will move ahead and finish my first card, and then we will start coloring. All right, I'm on my first card now. I'm doing this green part on this first leg, which is the door leg. On this, I'm doing this line. And then a side line slightly tilted. There's another connection, another connection. It's loose. We don't know what is happening there. It's very loosely done. So I'm just keeping it like this. This line parallel to your first one, double lines, double lines. So you see most of the lines are not really connected with each other. So this is what you need to do. You do the bars here. And that's it. And I'm going to add one of the wheel on this side. It's not fully seen. It's below this line. Just half of the wheel is visible. I think I made it too big. So this is what I see on my paper. Now I will start adding the colors. I'm going to do watercolors on this. You can choose whatever colors you have. You can use those colors.
Mataji, can you please wait 5 minutes?
Yes, sure. Once you all are ready, please let me know. Erase all the extra lines that we don't need.
Mataji,
Mm-hmm.
can you see my drawing?
Sure.
Should I open it?
Lalita, let me
So
check.
this door?
Just 1 second, Lalita. I'm checking your work. This is good. Lalita, for your third one, see, if you do not use the method, you will end up making mistakes. So your this cone shape is not looking right. Why it's not looking right? Because it's going like this. See, it's going like that. No, it's not looking right. Okay, Garima, I'll come back to you. So you
Okay,
should always draw a center line like this and then draw your triangle. You will always get it symmetrical if you use the method. Okay. Whenever you draw without using a method, you will get it off. Garima,
Okay,
I am on your screen now. Hasini, Hasini, I asked you to correct the top of your first card, which is still not correct. It's more like this on your paper. Okay, it's not looking right. It should be in the center. So you center of your this entire thing from this line. Okay. Okay, it's right now it's like this. Garima, yes, you were saying
Mataji,
something.
I have a question. That
Sure.
can we use acrylic paint?
You can use acrylic paint, yes.
Okay. Mataji, can you use it for some time?
Yes.
And also, can you please see my paper?
I am looking at your screen, Garima.
The Subhadras have to fix it a little bit, but
Nice, very nice. Good job, Lalit, Garima. Okay, who wants me to wait? Is that Moksha? Who's asking me to wait?
yes, Mataji.
Mataji, is this okay now?
Hasini, I'm looking. Not really, Hasini. Unless you draw that line in the center of your this entire. No, this is not right, Hasini. You should draw this line first. Then only you will get it right.
Okay.
From this, okay? In the center of your that entire shape. It should be in the center of that entire shape that you have made. And then you connect your top on that line.
Mataji, I'm done.
All right, thank you for updating. So let's move on, and now I'm going to do coloring, little bit finishing on the top of Jaganath's card. I'm doing that now. What I see, this white color, black color, yellow, red, and it's getting a little narrow. So this is white part, this is black part, This is my yellow part. And every time, Hasni, look, I'm connecting this with my line, okay? The line has to be in the center. That's why we did that. And then there is a circle. It's rectangle, triangle, circle, and then line goes more up, and then your flag. Okay. Now I'm going to start my coloring. If you see here on my screen, I do have some watercolors. My paper is small. I'm using number 8 brush, round brush for doing this. You can use whatever you have, but round brush would be better. Don't use flat brushes. Prahlad, I'm looking at your screen.
Mataji, I have
Looks,
round brush size 7. Is that okay?
yes, that is also okay. If you have bigger paper,
I'm gonna color it with oil pastels because I don't have watercolors.
sure, you can do that too. So just see the colors, how I'm doing right now. Prahlad, yours was good. I did check yours. I will move on. So when you're using oil pastels, so you can actually use any order. Since I am going to work with watercolors, I'm doing my light color first. This picture, I see there is a little bit of yellow on this area, a little bit of yellow here. So I am dipping my brush in water. Picking yellow from my palette. Okay, before that, it's really important that I get rid of all the extra lines which are not needed. So I am doing that. Now I'm going to quickly do this. I got rid of all my extra lines. And now my yellow color, little bit of yellow is here, little bit of here. You will do the same with your oil pastels, okay? And little bit I see here. I'm keeping it very loose. I'm not trying to be very neat with this part. After this, once my yellow is done, there is yellow on the top too. My top is very, very dark with my pencil. I'm erasing those lines. Doing it lightly.
Mataji, what yellow should I use?
What is that again?
Is it Gamble hue?
What is paint you're asking?
Yeah.
No, I have some different brand paint, but you can use any colors that you have, any brand, whatever you have right now. So on this part, I picked up some color on my wet brush and I'm putting this red here. You will use the same thing with your. You see how my colors are mixing? I want everyone to be on mute, please. Hasani, mute. Thank you. Okay, so you see how my watercolor is mixing? Let it be like that. I'm cleaning this up a little bit. Now I'm picking a little bit of orange. Doing orange on this front side. If you're using acrylics, you will do the same thing. Same order. Let me do few colors. I'm putting red on this part. I need little darker red. I'm doing red on this part too. I will stop now. You all can continue.
Mataji, one question. Why do we have to use watercolor paper?
Because when we use watercolors and we use water on the paper, if you're using printer paper, your printer paper will not be able to hold the water. Watercolor paper is actually meant for watercolors. It can handle the water. But on other paper, if you put water, what will happen? It will start dripping, right? When you put too much water.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, it will buckle up. You will see wrinkles on your paper. It will not be able to hold the water. Never use black in the beginning of your coloring, okay? Keep black for the last color. So I'm not going to do any black right now on this. So first we will watch rest of the colors and then we will do this. We have very less time left, so I would like to speed up in order to finish this. Can I continue?
Mataji, I won't be painting this time because I'm doing it on paper, but this is how mine looks so far. It's more like I kind of messed up, so I just went with it. But like next time I get like watercolor paper and watercolor, I'll do it properly and show you.
It looks good. As long as you get your sketch right, any color will work on this. So right now we do have just 15 minutes left and I would like to speed up. Those who are doing it with me right now, I advise you can follow up the rest with the recording and try to catch up whatever you can while we're working together. So this is what I did right now, the top. Now I'm quickly finishing up rest of the tops. I'm washing my brush, taking yellow, doing a little bit of yellow on this. And red. I'm doing red on my other.
Can you like send the picture of that in the group because I want to follow that pattern?
Sure. I think Anjana Mataji has that picture. She will send them. Okay, so I used all my light colors first. Wherever I see light, orange, red, yellow, I'm working with all my light colors. I'm not trying to finish one card in one go, okay? Because there is black in that and I don't want to use any black right now. I did this, and let's move on to green. This part is green. So I'm not trying to make them all same length and not connecting it to the bottom, keeping them loose. This is what we need to do. Just a hint of what you're doing. You just want to give a little hint. Okay, this is done. Something more is there. I'm still picking more green. This wheel seems to be green in the picture. Now I think I have done most of my light colors. Now I will pick black. With watercolor especially, and with acrylics too, you want to make sure that your first layer that you did now should be completely dry before you move on. Now, since my paper is not dry, I will take my paper towel to make it faster, and I will. I'm going to take a smaller brush now for black. I am going to use number 2 round brush, picking my black from the palette. With black, you need to be really careful. I'm making a light shade of black, which is more like gray right now. Just this much, not too much. And keeping it loose. You will do the same thing when you do it with acrylics. This part was black. I do see when you do with oil pastels, you do the same thing. You might not be able to use markers for this kind of coloring, but you can also use crayons, soft pastels. This side is little curvy. And I'm leaving a little bit of spaces. You can see a little bit of coloring is not very neatly done. And that is the idea of this loose coloring, not spending too much time on finishing. Now this part needs to be black. Right now I'm keeping all my colors light. Once everything is finished and if I feel like making any part darker, I can always go back and make that dark. So I'm not putting any dark color in the beginning. I can always go back and make it dark later. This is done. Now, a little bit of black on top of this. This shape doesn't look right, so I'm fixing it. Okay. After this, now how to make those devotees. So many devotees are there, and in this picture there is a road and there is a gray color on the road. For this, I'm going to take a really big brush. This is number 12 brush. I want gray color on my palette. You can mix white, you can mix water to your black and it will turn into gray if you don't have exact shade of gray. And then before actually putting any color, then you have to make it really, really light. Those who are using acrylic and watercolors, you're going to put water first. Just plain water. And then I'm picking my gray color and doing it like this. This needs to be dry before you do anything else on top of it. So I'm going to use my paper towel for this quick dry. So those who are using acrylic, you will also do the same, that put water first and then put your gray color because you want to make it really, really light. Those who are
using oil pastels. Do you do the same thing?
Those who are using oil pastels, you put white first, then your light gray, and then blend them. Okay, we learned that when we were doing Shiva painting, how to blend your oil pastels. You can use Q-tip, but you put white first and then your gray, then blend them. And don't put too much of it, very light gray. So now this is done. My paper seems to be a little bit dry. Now I'm going to tell you how to create the humans. Let's pick some random colors. I'm taking dark green, one which I do not have already on my paper, and I'm taking purple. And I'm taking blue, and I'm taking my number 8 brush because number 8 is kind of a medium brush. And we need black also for this. I'm going to pick my black also. Okay, this is interesting. So what I'm going to do with my number 8 brush, keep it really flat and just do this shape, kind of teardrop. With different colors. I'm going to use purple now. I'm also making some on the card. Now I'm taking blue. My paper is still wet and my color is actually spreading because of that, but you make sure that your paper has to be dry when you do this.
Mataji,
Yes.
Can you please go a little slow? I can't go that fast.
Yeah, you need to watch the recording because we don't have time to go slow right now. Okay, you should finish it by watching the recording later. Right now, just understand what I'm doing.
He
Okay.
is
So
a fast painter.
Yeah.
I'm
He's supposed
using.
to take time.
If you're using oil pastel, you will also create the same shape. Then with your black color, you can also use Sharpie for this or any pen. If you find it difficult to do it with brush that's small, now you add head to all those shapes. So you can create as many devotees as you want. They look in uniform because I made them one color, and pretty much my painting is done here. I need to take a black pen. I have this kind of pen with me. You can take any fine point pen. You can take ball pen, black preferably, but if you do not have black, you can use blue ball pen also. But preferably, if you find anything black and fine point, don't use thick point Sharpie. It will not look that great. Now, rest of the detailings.
Mataji, I really like this. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. I'm happy that you liked it. And just some of the detailings and very loosely done. I lost my line, and then you might find it a little difficult right now, but when you do this line, don't do it wrong. So if you're not sure where exactly it has to be done, do it with pencil first. If you do it with your pen and you make it wrong, your card will look really bad. Okay, so this line has to be the same line that we did in the beginning, parallel to the last line. And when you're doing lines, don't create solid lines. Like if that's your card, don't try to trace like this. It will look bad. Keep it loose, broken, like this. Keep your lines loose, broken lines. Then your hand feels more confident on your paper. It looks like that you know how to color. So don't be stressed out and don't make solid lines. You see, my lines are not connected. I'm keeping them very loose. You just want to give the hint of that entire shape.
Good at making my hand do like loose.
You need to practice it. Practice it on rough paper. Do it loose means do it then broken like this. Don't create one solid line. Just do it broken. Okay, you get that? And don't make, when you make it broken, don't make all the broken lines like this, like equal size. Don't do that. Some of them should be big, some small, some
So
big.
we just pick up our pen or pencil in the middle.
In the middle means?
Like for some time we draw a line and then
Yes.
pick it up and draw.
Yes. Yes, that's right. Very good. And then this is what I'm doing. Let me quickly finish this. You see that when you do these kind of paintings, you can finish them really, really quick. And you don't need to color everything. It will still look great. And we could actually finish it in 1 hour. That's great. Not all of you, but on my paper, I did it. There's an advantage to this. If you make mistakes and you are creating broken lines, like I did not feel this line was not right. So I wanted to make it a little broad. Even though I do not have color there, I still created my another line. And I really don't need to color this. It will still look fine because this is the style of this painting. I'm doing some of the devotees just with pen. Not.
Do we have to add devotees?
It will look nice if you do that. It will look full. Otherwise, your painting will look really empty. And then.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And that's it. I do have something more to tell you. Here, some.
Can you like take your hand for 1 second, because I'm just gonna take a picture so I can do it later.
Sure. I will send this picture as well, I think, okay? So now there is something called as white pen. Many of you might not have it. Maybe some of you do have this white pen. My white pen is not working right now, so I'm looking for one which actually works. So not really, my pen is not working, but I still want to show you what exactly it is. It's a white gel pen, and there are some white details on this, like there is a bell here, bell shape or something, some shape is here. I could have created that if my pen was working. So whatever white you see, you can do that with white pen. Right now my pen is not working. I do have a couple of them, but all of them are not working. If you're using acrylic paint, or if you're using oil pastels, then it's much easier. You don't need to use that white pen.
Mataji, after my watercolors dry, can I use an oil pastel or crayon?
You can do that. Like I am using my white oil pastel right now, and some white detailing, something very roughly, some design. You see, just by adding little white to your paper, it will start looking really nice. I'm sorry about that. So little white will really enhance your project. So do add white. And I should be adding little more of black to this. Some black parts a little darker. We're running out of time, but I will actually, when I get time, I will make some of the parts a little more dark, especially these areas, little more black. I'm adding just light gray to it right now. And that's it. Jai Jaganath, we're done. And on time, right? We took 1 hour for this. So that's it for this project. If any one of you have any questions, you can ask me now. We will be winding up in few minutes from now. I can see that everyone is busy working.
Can you please tell me how to blend the colors? I didn't attend that one.
Without pastels, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't have the right supplies next to me right now, but I will use what I usually use for my like regular classes. We use some tools for that. There are a couple of tools. I'm going to show you. Let's say I have to add green on this area, and I'm going to use oil pastel for that. On top of my watercolor only. I'm using, you can use Q-tip for this step. For my white also, I can blend all my white that I applied on my paper.
What's that tool? Is that like, can you just use Q-tips?
You can use Q-tips, yes. And I want to add a little bit of yellow to that green as given in the picture. Let me show you the blending. There's yellow to it. You can use Q-tip for doing this, okay? If I want to darken up some of my reds, let's say. I will do that with Q-tip. And these kind of paintings look nice, or any kind of paintings. When you have variation of colors, just don't add one flat color to it. Like there's light red, dark red, little bit of pink, little bit of orange. When you have, like instead of making this one flat red, I added a little bit darker red and lighter red. And maybe if I give a little bit of orange color to this, that will also look nice. I can also make few more devotees maybe with oil pastel. I made this head really, really big. I need to correct that later. So that's it. Anyone, any question?
Mataji, I don't know how you do this, but this is so good.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
You can also do it. Watch the video, go a little slow, pause and do it, and you will be creating the same thing. And whatever colors are left in your palette, you can still use them here and there to make it look more full. Cool. Anyone is not saying anything?
Mataji,
Yes,
Mataji,
Garima.
this is mine.
Let me check, Garima. 1 second. That's beautiful. Very nicely done, Garima. You can add more gray for the road or the street, and then it will look more full. Right now, there's a lot of white there. So if you have a little bit of gray, it will really improve the entire painting.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, so we'll end today's class here. See you next time with some new painting. And whosoever is finishing up this work, or even if you're not fully finished, do share the work. I would love to see that, whatever you have done on your paper in today's class. Hari bol, everyone. See you next class. Everyone seems to be too busy finishing up their painting.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that made me actually very happy that everyone is enjoying this and working on their paper and being
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the painting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Garima. Hari bol, everyone. So let's finish it for today. Vanchakalpatarupascha kripa sindhubhe vichapatitanam papnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hari bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Welcome.
Mataji, will you recording?